Hello, 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 what's happening everybody? MCOC Droid does back again for another video on Marvel Contest of Champions. So, in case you missed it, earlier this past week, well really about 2 weeks ago almost now, when we got the free trial for the Summoner Sigil, I had made a video about it and threw a poll up on Twitter to ask you all, what kind of content did you want to see? What did you think I should do? Should I just stick with a 7-day free trial and just kind of do a thoughts video at the end of that? Or should I go ahead and buy the full sigil for the 30 days for the $10 and do more review vids and then a big review at the end of the month? And that is indeed what won out. You can check out the announcement video here. It's popping up in the corner right now with some very intro thoughts. But I want to take this opportunity to go over one aspect of the Summoner's Sigil as I am about to do my weekly crystal opening. You're seeing this video on Monday, but I'm recording this on Sunday right before I do my weekly crystal opening. And I want to talk about the Black ISO market because I did some quick thoughts on it, at first with the first couple of videos that I did about the Sigil, but I really wanted to go item by item and talk about, my thoughts on each one, the value, the potential value, etc., etc. Now, again, I am Cavalier, so some of these items may not be available to you at all. Like the cheaper featured 5-star I know is only available for uncollected and Cavalier people. Some of these might be different amounts. Either you are trading in a different amount or you're getting back a different amount. So I will go ahead and put a link to the forum post, the initial announcement post, where it breaks down all of the different tiers of the Black ISO market. Again, in case you're uncollected, maybe you only have the proven title, etc., etc. You can kind of see where you're at. And take it from there. So I'm only going to talk about it as if you were a Cavalier player, which again I know is endgame type stuff, but I figured that'll be the most straightforward. And then, like I said, you can go back to the original forum post and compare and contrast based on what is available to you, based on what is your current title. So let's just go item by item. I'm going to kind of do it in categories. This first one is pretty easy. It's the only potion revive item available, which I'm kind of surprised there's not more of. They offer so many catalyst related things, they offer a few crystal related things, they have mastery related things, but in terms of questing content, specific items for questing content, this is it. There's no energy refills, there's no boosts, there's nothing like that. It's literally just these 3 level 3 team health potions that you can get. Now, again, it's only 10,000 gold. You can see right here, I have none right now. So I'm going to go ahead and buy this. And, if you were to buy these individually, in terms of actual units, as you can see, I'm popping over here. There we go, down here. I'm like, I know you can buy the level 3s. They're not that rare. That's 26 units each. So if you were to buy 3, that's 78 units total for only 30,000 gold. Now, if you're tight on gold, or if you have a nice stash, of course you don't really need to get these every single time. This is one of the items that refreshes every week, I believe, instead of every 2 weeks. Most of this stuff is every 2 weeks, but there are a few items that refresh every 7 days instead, which is nice. That certainly helps with some things. So for me personally, like I said, it's worth it. I'm just going to keep buying these. Because I got none, so I might as well, and I've got plenty of gold. But, again, it's not an essential buy. So, again, everyone take it with a grain of salt based on your own personal account. So I'm going to go ahead and get these. Again, I am recording this on Sunday, as you can see, if I just pull this back up. The countdown timer is about to reset. It seems for most things related to the Sigil, it's all revolving around Monday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's going to be the resets on the Black ISO market. If we quickly pop over, that's going to be the reset on the solo event, the test of the Cavalier. That's going to be the reset on the gold quest, whatever you want to call it. The golden circle, I think it is. Yeah, the golden circle. And in fact, I need to do it before it runs out. But that's totally separate from this video. So, but yeah, everything seems to revolve around Monday, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, they're global timers, by the way. I know some people were asking on the forums. I've seen people ask on Twitter. So it doesn't matter when you buy the Sigil. It doesn't matter when you buy these items. It's all on global timers, kind of similar to the Glory Store. and things like that. So everything resets at Monday, 10 a.m. Pacific. And again, it's either a 1 week or a 2 week reset based on some of the items. Since I just had that open, let's quickly talk about the two mastery related items, the Stony Core and the Carbonadium Mastery Core. I just call it the Carbo Core. Again, both are nice. It's not essential. I mean, it's not a huge savings. This is obviously the better of the two. You get to buy two of them. Or, I'm sorry, I was looking at the owned. I apologize. So you only get to buy the one every 2 weeks, but you save 50 units, so it's not bad. It's almost a 10% savings, 550 down to 500. So again, nothing huge, nothing game breaking or anything, but if you need it and you have the sigil, it's nice. You know, it's a nice little savings if you're going to buy them anyway, you know. And then same with the Stony Core, you can only buy one, and you save 15 units, so it's 120 instead of 135. I'm not going to get them this week. I don't really need them right now. But, you know, again, if you're looking to build up your masteries, if you need to unlock, like, Suicides or some of the others, and you are going to be buying these cores anyway, it's a nice little savings. You can apply the 65 units that you save to something else. Who knows? In terms of the catalyst stuff, this is obviously going to be the biggest category of things to discuss. So the Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 class catalyst selectors, again, it's kind of a bummer. You can only buy one at a time. It is nice, especially because the basic catalysts are so easy to farm every single day through other events, etc., etc. So that's certainly a solid trade-in, especially the Tier 3. I know you have to turn in 2 of the basic catalysts, but it's still worth it. Of course, with Tier 3, you know, you run those quests every day in terms of the class-related ones, and you're not, even if you 100% it, you're not guaranteed to get one, which is still incredibly annoying. I don't know how that hasn't changed over the years. But, so this is certainly worth it, because yes, it does cost 2 fully formed Tier 3 basics, but again, those are a lot easier to farm, and not only that, but it's not just like, you know, a randomly picked one. It's not a crystal. It is a class catalyst selector. So if you need that one more tech Tier 3 catalyst to rank somebody up, or you need a mutant or whatever it is, this is a great deal, because at least you get to pick it yourself, and it's guaranteed. So that is very nice. The Tier 3 basic upgrade here, you know, it's not amazing. It's not terrible. It's fine if if you really need it. It's a fine trade-in, since if you were to sell a Tier 2 basic, it's obviously a lot less than 560. Just to confirm, because I couldn't remember off the top of my head, so it's 130. So you're getting 430 more Tier 3 basic catalyst frags by doing that trade-in, rather than if you're just going to sell it. Now, you don't get the gold. So, you know, that would be a maximum of 3,200 gold that you're missing out on, but you are getting more frags. So again, it all depends on you and if the trade-in is worth it for you specifically. But again, you know, Tier 2, Tier 3 basic catalysts, they're pretty easy to farm for most players. So, you know, like, you don't have to do it, but if you do it, it's fine. It's fine. It's all just fine. Again, it's not great. It's not amazing. The Tier 4, I'm just going to do this just because I have so many Tier 3 basics at all times. Again, they're pretty easy to get, and I can always farm them pretty easily. So again, this is not an amazing trade-in value either, but, you know, if you have a lot of excess Tier 3 basic frags, or Tier 3 basic catalysts that are just sitting around, you might as well. And like I said, I always seem to have extra, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that 5. Just because why not? So I'll just go ahead and do that right there. Boom, that is done. And I was trying to do the math in my head. You know, that's what, 7, 14, 20, 20, you know, a bit more than 3,500. What is that? 3,600 frags. So 10%. So it's, you know, it's an extra 10% of a Tier 4 basic that I didn't already have. So there you go right there. Sticking with the catalysts. This one is not great. I mean, again, if you happen to have an overflow, like a huge overflow of Tier 1 alphas, okay, maybe fine. But this one's really not a good deal at all. Because again, you know, if you were to sell a Tier 1 alpha, let's go back over into there, which I would hope you don't really do that ever. They used to be worth a lot more gold. I think it was, what, 8,000 gold? Per Tier 1 alpha if you were going to sell it. Now it's down to 2,000. So that is kind of a bummer. But, you know, you get 120 frags, for tier 2 alphas each time you were to do it. So, 120 up to, what is it, 450 to do it this way. Sorry about that, wrong button. If we come back down here, yeah, so 120 up to 450, you don't get the gold once again. I mean, tier 1 alphas are always needed. We all need tier 1 alphas. So even if you had a huge overflow, maybe if you had a bunch that were literally about to expire that day, and you had literally nobody to rank up, maybe do this. But for the most part, it's not worth it. I mean, maybe if they brought it up to, honestly, I would have to see it at least be double this. I would need for it to be 900 tier 2 alpha frags per tier 1 alpha for me to even consider it. And even then, that's not that great. But at the very least, 900 is a step in the right direction. So for only 450, it's really not worth it. You really shouldn't be selling tier 1 alphas anyway. So yeah, it's just not really worth it all that much. On the other hand, again, as I've mentioned, I usually tend to have a fair amount extra, or on that max capacity of tier 3 basics. So this is not a bad deal. It's not an amazing deal either, but again, tier 3 basics are much easier to farm than tier 1 alphas, because you can't really farm tier 1 alphas in the strictest definition of the term farm. So this is absolutely something to take advantage of. I have plenty, even after doing the earlier trade-in for tier 4 basic frags. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this as well. That's 3 more tier 1 alphas. Very nice. And the last catalyst-related one I want to talk about is probably the worst deal of them all. It's this one right here. I don't know anybody who would happily trade in 3 tier 4 basics for not even a chance at the specific tier 4 CC that they want. Maybe if it was 1 for 1, I might do. I mean, I don't need to do it, as you can see. I have 60 fully formed crystals that are just sitting around waiting to be opened whenever I need them. But even if I had 0, let's say I have 0 tier 4 CC crystals to open. 3 basics for 1 random tier 4 CC catalyst, absolutely not worth it. 2 is still not even worth it. It would really need for it to be 1-to-1 for me to consider it. And again, how many of us really have so many basics in overflow with nobody to rank up that we'd be happy to give 3 of them away for maybe a catalyst we don't even want? If it were a selector again, if it were like one of these, the tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3, if it was a tier 4 CC selector, that would make it a lot easier to go for this deal, because then at the very least, it's not random. It's not up to RNG. It's, okay, I literally need, let's say 1 mutant tier 4 CC to take my Havoc up to rank 4 or rank 5 or whatever it is. I don't want to do the trade-in. I'm still so far away. I want to rank them up. Okay, I'll do this because I know I'm going to get a mutant. Here, you could easily just as get a Mystic or a Tech or whatever, So this is honestly probably the worst deal in the entire Black ISO market. It's way too much going in with not enough coming out. So I would, pretty much no matter who you are, I would avoid that deal. So that's it for catalysts. Let's start talking crystals, because that is the last thing to do. These first few, honestly, not bad. I mean, right here, this is literally just trading. Oops, sorry, wrong one. This is literally just trading 1,000 PHC shards for a PHC crystal. So it's basically getting 4 of them at half off. Fully formed premium hero crystals are worth more points, especially when it comes to the 7-hour solo quests. For the combat quests and the advancement quests, like tech advancement or mutant combat, etc., etc. So this is pretty much a no-brainer. As long as you have enough shards to do all of the other stuff with premiums, which again is a grand total of 4 plus 2 plus another 4. So as long as you have at least 10,000 shards, this one is absolutely worth it. So I'll get to that in a second. But again, you're basically getting 4 premiums at half off. I mean, most likely you're going to be getting 2 stars, but you're going to be most likely getting 2 stars anyway if you stick with the shards. So this is absolutely worth it. Again, you're just getting 4 at a discount. Same with this here. I mean, again, yes, technically there is the chance of getting a 4-star from a premium hero crystal, but as you just saw, the odds are low. It's 3%. So this is at least giving away the chance at a 4-star to guarantee not getting a 2-star, if that makes any sense. So, again, like none of these are huge deals. None of these are going to be, amazing. Based on where you're at in the game, it may be an account changer. Who knows? Maybe you open up this ultimate crystal and you pull an Aegon, a 4-star Aegon or 4-star Blade or 4-star Sparky or whatever. So based on where you're at in the game, that actually could change things quite a great bit. But for most of us, again, it's just the opportunity to be getting a slightly better version of a champion or more pulls, so that in theory could mean more dupes, more shards, more ISO, more gold, etc., etc. So I will absolutely get the one fully formed 3-star for only 2,000 premium shards. I'm absolutely going to get the one ultimate for 4,000 shards. Again, this is guaranteed a 3-star with a 20% chance at a 4-star, in case you have never seen an ultimate crystal before. So that's still a pretty solid deal. Because again, most likely you're only going to get 2-stars from the 2 premiums that you're giving up here. So this guarantees trading those in for a 3-star with a better shot at a 4-star. So I'll absolutely do that. In terms of this one right here, I think this is a great deal as well. Again, you're trading in a 3-star pull for half of a fully formed 4-star. Really great deal. I'm going to keep doing this one every single time as well. So I will go ahead and get that. The last two to talk about, we'll talk about the featured first. So in case you missed it, I did do one of these during the free trial. Spoiler alert, it went horrible. What was it? Namor to the left and I think Ronan to the right. And I landed on a 3rd dupe of Hulkbuster. That one hurt. But again, like if you are uncollected, it brings the 15,000 shard featured crystal down to 13,000, which is not bad, but not a huge savings. However, if you are Cavalier, this brings it down to 11,000 shards. So you're basically doing a 1,000 shard gamble, this featured compared to just a normal basic for 10,000 shards, that you're going to get somebody in the featured crystal that perhaps you want more than somebody out of the basic. Like for me specifically, that would be Namor, that would be Cole Obsidian, that would even be Doctor Strange because he's not available in the basic. Human Torch is in there. So there it really depends on how the featured crystal is looking at the time. However, for a only 1,000 shard gamble versus the usual 5,000 shard gamble, it's worth trying every 2 weeks. Again, based on how many shards you're getting on a daily and weekly basis, what your roster is looking like, who you're looking for, etc., etc. So this is resetting tomorrow. Well, today by the time you see this video. But I'm going to keep doing these just because I do get a fair amount of shards. And again, it's only a 1,000 shard gamble. So to me, it's worth it. It's worth it enough. The one that I don't know. For me personally, I don't think it's worth it. For others, it might be. It's this one right here. Now, if you're uncollected, it's even less. I think it's only 750 shards for 2,000 4-star shards. I don't know what they were thinking with this one. I mean, for me personally, the way I think it's not worth it. I was just counting earlier this morning. I was doing some 6 stones and getting, I think it was only one 4-star up to max sig, another one I should say. So I'm up to 77 4-stars that are at max sig. So most likely for me, when I'm opening 4-star crystals every week, which is usually 3, 4, whatever it is, most likely not only am I going to get a dupe, but I'm going to get a max sig dupe. The odds are in my favor to get a max sig dupe. So that is most likely going to be 550 5-star shards, plus the ISO, the gold as well, of course. But mostly it's about the shards and the ISO. So essentially what I would be doing here is I would be giving away that 4-star pull for the ISO and for the 550 shards to guarantee that I get 1,000 shards, which is really not that much. So you're talking only 450 extra shards, which I don't know. It's not enough for me. I mean, I'm usually not hungry for ISO, for gold either, for the most part. So in theory, I could do this. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's enough 5-star shards to make it exciting. And again, this is a Cavalier. Like I said, an uncollected, I believe it's at 750 shards. So that's even less worth it for me. Of course, that makes it less worth it for most people. I don't know. I mean, if you're trying to build up your 5-star roster and if you don't have that many 4-star champions, maybe this is worth it to try and accelerate your progress towards that, that next 5-star basic or 5-star feature, whatever it is. But I don't know. For the most part, I really don't think this is worth it at all. So I am actually not going to buy it. I may in the future. I don't know, like maybe I'll change my mind or convince me in the comments below. I don't know. For me, it does not feel exciting enough to want to pick this up. So for this week in particular, I'm definitely skipping it. And I don't know. I'll see how I'm feeling. Like I said, obviously this is about to reset in less than a day. So who knows? For the next round, maybe I'll do it. But honestly, it's just not that good of a deal. And I believe that covers everything. So yeah, that's it. So again, as I promised, I wanted to do a number of Sigil related videos kind of throughout this 30-day period. So this one was focused exclusively on these items in the Black ISO market. So that will wrap it up for this video. Thanks very much for watching, especially if you stuck it all the way to the end here. Let me know in the comments below if you have the Sigil, or perhaps if you remember from when you had your free trial. What do you think about these items? What do you think about these deals? Which ones do you think are good value? Which ones do you think are horrible value? Always interested to hear the community's thoughts and comments. So yes, by all means, let me know down below. Smash that like button. If you're not a subscriber, feel free to hit the subscribe button. Be sure to ring the bell and turn on all notifications so you see more Summoners Sigil related content, as well as everything else that I have going up on the channel. For now, though, thank you very much for watching. Take care, and I will see you next time.